I know it's been a while. I'm back, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, I wanted to wish all of you a happy New Year and a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. Um, I've been away for a while, but and part of that, part of me being gone for a while was because the fire department's been pretty busy. When it gets colder around in Michigan, we get quite a few car accidents and structure fires because of people heating their houses with wood stoves and things like that, and car accidents because of the slippery roads. So I have been kind of busy with the fire department, and that's slowed down quite a bit. But the other half has kind of been that I've been lazy on the holiday weekends and throughout the holiday. But hopefully that should change now. Things are getting back to normal. But I wanted to give you guys a few updates. So the first major thing that happened during the last month or so is that I did get that Canon G7X camera, but I had it for like 2 days and I returned it. But I had my reasons, and I'll kind of explain those real quick. The reason I returned that camera, and I was super excited about it to begin with when I first got it, but I realized it wasn't gonna meet like my needs for a camera. And the biggest thing about having like a point and shoot digital camera, aside from using like a smartphone, is that you always need to carry your smartphone with you, but you don't always need like a point and shoot camera. So I didn't really want to carry two items on me. So that was probably the main reason. But there's some other reasons, like lack of features. When you have a point and shoot camera, there's certain things that you can't do that you would do with a smartphone. And I'll get more to the idea of the smartphone because I actually ended up getting a new one. But so some of the features that it was lacking, I know some are minor. Geo-tagging, which I think is pretty cool. So if you use a smartphone and you take a photo of something, you have the option to use your phone's GPS or other technologies to locate where you're at when you take that photo, and it will save that information on the photo, which is pretty cool because you can actually later on look at all the photos you've taken in different places, and it makes it easier to organize too. The other thing it didn't have was, and this is a big one, was auto uploading. So when I take a photo with my phone, it automatically uploads to Google Photos, and that allows me to clear off the photos to save space in my phone, and then also have instant access on any device to those photos. And the last thing, which is pretty minor, was no panoramic option, which I hardly ever use, but it's just one extra feature that it didn't have. The G7X had some annoying things, like I'm not used to having to pull out a memory card and plug it into my computer to transfer things over. That's just slow and makes me not want to use it as often. You can't use apps, so like you can't use Facebook or other apps you're using where you can take a photo with your phone and then instantly upload it to something or share it. I think you can do that, but not nearly as easily as with a phone. And you couldn't, if you're out with your Canon PowerShot and the battery dies, the only really option you have is something like maybe like a spare battery. But with a smartphone, you can just plug in one of those small battery packs and then have like as much time as you ever needed, which is really cool. So you kind of always have power with you if you need it. Just carry one of those power packs. And then the last thing that I was kind of nervous with is that it was an expensive camera. It was like, I mean, I got really cheap compared to buying it new because I had bought it was it refurbished, so it was a couple $100 less. But the camera itself was still like $399, and then there was accessories like a spare battery and a memory card you're talking maybe another $100. So you know, it's quite a bit of money. But the last thing was that it's an expensive camera, and what happens if you drop it? I feel like a lens on a camera is a lot more likely to break on you, and that much of an investment and the fear of breaking it kind of made me nervous. So that was another thing. So basically, yeah, I got the G7X and then returned it. But I do have some good news. So if you remember the last video I shot of me and Arvin in the Philippines, that was all done on my old phone, the Nexus 6. Well, I upgraded to a Nexus 6P, and this phone, the main difference is that the front-facing camera on this phone is a 8-megapixel camera compared to the awful front-facing camera on the last phone, the Nexus 6, which had a 2-megapixel camera, and this is the Nexus 6P. So this thing cost, I think, it was $350. No, $450. It was $450, which is like $100 less than normally it is. So I got it kind of discounted. But the other thing, the important thing to keep in mind is I was able to sell my last phone for about $200. So then we're talking more like $250. So it wasn't that bad. And yeah, the cool thing is this guy's got a case. So if I were to drop this guy, more than likely it would be fine. And then it also has a tempered glass screen protector on it. So that's reassuring. The other thing I want to mention real quick was that earlier I showed you guys some of the accessories I got for recording with a smartphone, and one was this tripod here. This is the Joby tripod, and it's used by a lot of YouTubers because most YouTubers get the larger version, but you can actually bend it and use it as a selfie camera with your phone or camera. I'm not a big fan, at least not with this size, but I wanted one that's portable. And I hope you guys didn't go out and buy it after I mentioned it. You might be happy with it, but I wasn't real happy with it. Because for one, it's not as stable. It does have nice grip in the bottom, but it's not as stable. If you have the legs spread out too far or something like that, it could start to lean as you're using it. So I still have it. The one advantage I do like is that you could attach it to something and have it hang or something like that, which I might end up using if I do use this. The other thing is it takes a long time to get the legs positioned just right so that the camera's level, and it's just kind of a pain in that way. So I did get something as a replacement. I got this guy here, and this tripod is nice because it's durable. You can still hold it away from you and use it as a selfie stick if you want, or just for vlogging, that kind of thing. But it's made really durable. I guess I'll put the link in the description to where you can get this. But it's really durable, and these legs come out at a set angle, and they're always straight. They're always super rigid and secure. The other nice thing is that the ball joint at the top, you can push this button in and you can like tilt it however you want, and it's extremely sturdy once you release the button. So what you could do is you could angle this upward and kind of use it the same way you'd use that Joby tripod if you wanted to, if you're going to record yourself. So I think this option I'm going to be a lot happier with, just because it's more secure and it's less of a pain to set up, I think. So that's what's happened with some of the electronics that I've gotten. The last thing I want to mention real quick is some updates between me and Arvin. So we did celebrate Christmas together, and it was really exciting because this was the first Christmas that I kind of got to spend a little time with the family over there in the Philippines, because of course they all kind of got to know me and everything since then. And what we did, which is pretty cool, Arvin was going to go celebrate Christmas with his family. And in the I don't know if this is always in the Philippines, but what his family does in the Philippines is they celebrate Christmas like at midnight, like right when it turns Christmas Day. Whereas in the US, you're celebrating Christmas like, I don't know, like early in the morning, 8 a.m. in the morning, that kind of thing. But no, they celebrate right when it hits Christmas Day at midnight. They unwrap presents and they have a dinner together and spend time with the family, which is, I think, kind of cool. Maybe actually I prefer that. But so what we did is he called me. So he went to celebrate with his family and kind of left me for a little bit. And then unexpectedly, he called me back and he answered on his phone. So we were in a video chat. He answered on his phone and I was with the family all there as they're, I'm not sure if it was after or before they unwrapped presents, but it was really funny because I was on the camera in the video chat and he turned the camera around so that, or the screen on his phone around so that he could get a photo of me and the entire family with a selfie stick. So I haven't seen the photo yet, but basically he's got his whole family gathered together for Christmas and I'm on the little camera in the photo. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, they all wished me a happy or a Merry Christmas, and it was really neat to be together with family, you know, even if it's just in video chat. And then hopefully, maybe next year, if the flights aren't too expensive, I might visit them and spend Christmas with them next year. Actually, this year now, 2017. And then the last thing I want to mention, I've been actually working on my Tagalog with Arvin. I've always known a little bit of Tagalog, just a few basic words and greetings like magandang umaga, that kind of thing. But now he's actually, we're trying our best to actually speak to each other in Tagalog. Whenever I want to say something, I'll ask, you know, how do you say this? And he'll break it down in the syllables, and then I'll kind of write it down and keep repeating it and try to use the words that I learn as frequently as I can so that I remember them. So, you know, slowly but surely my list of words and phrases that I know in Tagalog are increasing. So hopefully by the time I go back in May, if you don't know, I'm going back in May to visit Arvin for a month, and when I'm together with their friends, everybody's speaking Tagalog to each other, and it's kind of like it's kind of hard to be part of the conversation and not more of an outcast when you can't understand what they're saying. And they try to speak English around me, but it's very hard for them because, you know, they make fun of each other when they speak English because not everybody's the best at it. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can improve my Tagalog, and then I can interact with them more in group conversations. It's coming up May. But that's all I have for right now. I might make another video pretty quick. I know I haven't been making videos much, but I'm working on it. And yeah, some people mentioned the last video of the trip to the Philippines, meeting for the first time. That video has now reached 500,000 views, which is insane. The views have gone down dramatically as far as the rate increasing, but I can't believe I even made it anywhere near that. That's insane. So that's fine. I know there's a lot of you still just now discovering the video, so I'm really excited that you guys are seeing it and sticking around. So that's all I have for right now. Hope you guys have an amazing 2017. And I'll speak to you guys soon.